If your revenue's fine, but your profit isn't, and you're working all the time but not seeing the payoff, this video is for you. At this point, I've helped scale over 200 companies, and I can tell you exactly what's happening. You're lacking visibility in 3 areas that are silently killing your growth. I know how frustrating it feels to be where you are right now. You're doing everything right. You're busy, clients are coming in, you're working like mad, but you still feel stuck at this level. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 visibility gaps that keep founders stuck at 20 to 30K months, even when they're capable of so much more. And more importantly, I'll show you exactly how to fix them so you can finally get control and start scaling with confidence. Let me paint you a picture of what I see constantly. A founder comes to me usually around the 20 to 30K mark. The revenue's decent, they've got clients coming in, and they are busy, really busy. But when I ask them simple questions like, what's your gross profit margin right now? Or where's your team spending most of their time? There's always a little pause. Actually, it's often not that little. They know their revenue number. They can tell me how many clients they have. But the numbers that really matter, the ones that show whether the business is healthy or not, those are fuzzy at best. And this isn't about being disorganized or lazy. These are smart, driven people who've built something real. But somewhere in the chaos of delivery and growth, they lost sight of those metrics that actually drive sustainable growth. The reason this is particularly dangerous is that it doesn't feel like a problem at first. Revenue's coming in, you're getting busier, it looks like progress until suddenly it doesn't. Until you realize you're working more hours for less profit, until your team feels overwhelmed but you can't pinpoint why, until you're stuck at the same revenue level for 6 months straight and you genuinely don't know what's holding you back. That's when the lack of visibility goes from inconvenient to catastrophic. So let's fix it. Because once you can see what's actually happening in your business, scaling becomes much easier. Visibility gap number 1. You can't read your P&L independently and confidently. Let's start with a big one, your profit and loss statement. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I have a P&L. My accountant sends it to me. However, having one and being able to read it are 2 completely different things. Most founders I meet can tell me their revenue, some can tell me their costs, but when I ask them about their gross margin or their net profit margin or whether pricing is actually sustainable, the confidence disappears. And look, I get it. P&Ls can feel intimidating. There's a lot of jargon and your accountant might have set it up in a way that makes sense to them, but not to you. So you glance at it, you feel a bit lost, and you move on. But without being able to confidently read your P&L, you miss the trends that are forming in your business. You can't see if your margins are compressing. You don't notice when certain products or services are dragging profit down. You can't tell if your pricing is right or if you're leaving money on the table. It's like trying to drive cross country at night with no headlights. Yes, you're moving, but you've got no idea if you're headed towards a cliff. The businesses that scale smoothly know their numbers inside out, not because they're finance geeks, but because they've made the effort to understand what each line means and what it's telling them about the health of their business. To fix this, you need to stop relying on someone else to interpret your P&L for you. Book 30 minutes with your accountant or bookkeeper and ask them to walk you through it line by line. Get them to explain what each section means, what's normal in your industry, and which numbers you should be watching most closely. Then set up a simple rhythm. Once a month, sit down and actually read your P&L. Look at the trends. Are your costs creeping up? Is your gross margin shrinking? Are there any surprises? And then use it to make your decisions. Your P&L isn't just a historical record, it's a strategic tool. If your margins are tight, maybe you need to adjust your pricing or cut certain costs. If one service is far more profitable than another, maybe you need to shift your focus. The moment you start reading your P&L like a map instead of a mystery, you stop reacting and start leading. Visibility gap number 2 is a sneaky one. Everyone in your business costs you money. You, your team, every single person. And they're either boosting the business forward or quietly holding it back. But most founders have little to no idea where anyone's time is actually going. You might think you know, you might assume your team's spending most of their time on client delivery or marketing or admin, but unless you're tracking it, at least to some extent, you are guessing, and guesses cost money. I've seen this play out so many times. A founder hires someone new to take work off their plate, and a few months in, the new hire is flat out, but the founder still feels just as busy. When we dig into it, we find that maybe 40% of that person's time is going to things that don't actually move the business forward, maybe rework or low value admin or firefighting problems that shouldn't exist in the first place. Or worse, maybe the founder themselves is spending 60% of their week doing work that somebody else could and should be doing, while the strategic stuff that actually drives growth gets pushed to when I have time, which of course never comes. If you don't know where time is going, it's almost certainly being wasted, and wasted time equals wasted money. The great thing is that fixing this is very simple. Simply start tracking it. This doesn't have to be overly complicated, but for the next 2 weeks, get everyone, including yourself, to note down what they're spending their time on as they go. Track it under broad categories like client delivery, admin, meetings, marketing, etc. And also note down whether it was strategic work, i.e. thinking and designing, or operational work, i.e. the doing. At the end of the 2 weeks, look at the patterns. I wouldn't be surprised if you're shocked by what you see. Almost everyone is. You'll get to see the bottlenecks, you'll see where time's leaking, you'll see tasks that are taking way longer than they should, or being done by the wrong person entirely. And once you have that visibility, and this is the important bit, you redesign. You cut the low value work, you delegate properly, you create systems so the same problems don't keep eating time. Because once you know where time is truly going, you can protect it, and protected time is what allows you to scale without burning out. Okay, final one, and this might be the most powerful of the lot. Most founders I work with have a pretty good idea of what they're good at, but they don't actually know what their clients truly love them for. The thing that makes them the obvious choice, the reason clients pick them over everyone else, that magic that keeps people coming back and referring others. And without that clarity, they end up in a slightly messy space. They try and be good at multiple things. They add services because a client asks for them. They compete on price because they're not confident about their unique value. That's exhausting, and it's why so many businesses plateau. The businesses that break through know exactly what they're exceptional at, and they protect it, they double down on it, they build everything around it. And because of that, they step into what I call the no competition zone, the place where you're not just another option, you are the option. Here's how to fix this visibility gap. Start by going back to your best clients, the ones who got incredible results, the ones who loved working with you, the ones who referred others, and ask them some simple questions that uncover what they value most about working with you and what made you different to other options they considered. Listen carefully, because what they say might surprise you. It might not be exactly what you think you're selling. It might not be the thing you're currently leading with in your marketing, but it will be the truth, and the truth is what you build on. Once you know what clients truly love you for, everything you do gets a hell of a lot easier. Your messaging sharpens, your pricing becomes defensible, and your marketing naturally attracts the right people instead of everyone. You stop wasting energy trying to compete in areas that don't matter, and you become known for the one thing you do better than anyone else. That's when growth becomes inevitable. So those are the 3 visibility gaps that silently kill growth. Not being able to read your P&L confidently, which leaves you flying blind on profit, pricing, and sustainability. Not knowing where time is going, which means you're almost certainly wasting money without realizing it. And not knowing what clients truly love you for, which keeps you stuck competing instead of dominating. Fix these 3 and your decisions get sharper, your growth gets steadier, and your business stops feeling like chaos and starts feeling like a calm, confident operation. If this resonated and you want to go deeper on it, sign up to my weekly newsletter below. It's where I share the systems and thinking behind building a business that grows steadily, not chaotically. And if you're a founder looking to scale your business to 50K months and beyond, and you want support building this kind of clarity into your business, that's exactly what we do inside Calm. We help you get full visibility on your numbers, your time, and your leverage so you can scale with confidence instead of chaos. Links in the description for both of these if you want to learn more. All right, my friend, go book that coffee with your accountant, and I'll see you in the next video.